Hello and welcome to the video series on how to publish ebooks to Amazon Kindle. Now, keep in mind that you have a lot of other things that you can publish to Amazon Kindle. For example, blogs, newspapers, magazines, and so forth. Now, in this particular video series, I'm going to primarily focus on ebooks. But keep in mind that you can pretty much you can use this video series to publish other types of digital formats like blogs and things like that. All you do is basically upload it, I think, in a different format, but the process and everything else is pretty much the same thing. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, what I want to do is begin with a quick overview. Now, in this quick overview, I want to talk about the 6 videos in this particular video series. I'm going to talk a little more about them so that you can get a good understanding. Then we're going to move on to talk about the tools that you're going to need and that we're going to use so that you have the tools ready before we actually implement the actual system. So video number 1, of course, is this particular video. Video number 2, we're going to talk about brainstorming and researching your market. Essentially, how to find ideas and topics that you could write your ebook on. And then how to figure out whether it's going to be profitable or not. Because remember, you can do as much brainstorming as you want, but if you don't do the proper research to make sure that there is indeed a hungry market of buyers for that specific niche, then you're really creating all this for nothing. So we want to plan ahead. We want to make sure that it's going to sell. So we got to brainstorm, and then we've got to research the market. Of course, in video 3, it's all about writing an ebook that sells. We're going to talk about, how you can write an ebook that sells. How do you plan ahead of time to ensure that the content inside the ebook is good enough that there are going to be people out there that are hungry to buy it. And of course, in video number 4, we're going to talk about formatting your ebook. Now, with Amazon Kindle, you don't have to get really fancy, but there are a few things that you need to pay close attention, like how to format your ebook, starting it out, writing it with Microsoft Word, and then converting it to HTML format, things like that. Now, don't get worried. You really don't have to know HTML or the programming language or anything like that. We're actually going to use some free tools that you can use that are fairly easy to use. Video number 5, of course, after you format your ebook, you should have your ebook ready to go, which means video 5, you're ready to publish and price it with Amazon DTP. Amazon DTP is, I believe it's digital something platform. Forgot what the acronym means, but essentially it's the same thing as publishing it on their Amazon Kindle. A very, very easy process to implement, and I'll show you that in that particular video. Video number 6 is promoting your ebook. Let's say that, okay, you've finished your ebook, blog, whatever, formatted it, published it, uploaded, it's been approved. Now what? How do you promote your ebook? Well, now that it is on their marketplace, yes, if you correctly positioned it, you correctly entered the correct keywords and things like that, then you should be able to target the right person, right? Right. But you still want to be proactive about marketing and promoting your ebook. So we're going to talk about some tidbits and some tips and advice that will help you increase your exposure in terms of promoting your ebook on Amazon Kindle. Now, of course, why Amazon Kindle? Well, there's many factors as to why. Ebooks are cheaper, things like that. But on November 19th, 2007, Amazon released the first Kindle first generation. So within 5.5 hours, it was sold out. Now keep in mind that the device remained out of stock for another 5 months until late April 2008. So that tells us that, wow, it was released, and guess what? It was sold out for several months. Approximately 5 months, about almost half a year. Now, the good thing about Amazon Kindle is there's a large demand and it's easy to use. It's very user friendly, even for newbies. In fact, I was flying from on the airplane and, next to me was this guy who knew little about technology. I even talked to him about it, but he felt like the Amazon Kindle was very user friendly for him because he really didn't have to know all these apps. And I'm sure the iPod can read Amazon Kindle as fact too, but you know, there's a lot of people that the Amazon Kindle can reach out to, people that are not necessarily technologically savvy, but they want to be able to just use the Kindle for reading ebooks and things like that, and they want the convenience of that fact. Now, Amazon Kindle can publish on many different phones, not just the Amazon Kindle. So, as you can see, the market is huge. Ebooks are cheaper than the hardbook covers. A lot of places that sell, hardcover books, people can get the ebooks a lot cheaper on Amazon Kindle. But of course, you got to keep in mind that with Amazon Kindle, you got to buy a $100 machine or $100 product before you can actually buy the ebooks. But just keep in mind that in the long run, ebooks are often cheaper than hardcover books. So that's a big selling point there. Now let's talk about the tools that you are going to need to be able to implement this system and publish your ebook onto Amazon Kindle. First, you're going to need Microsoft Word or OpenOffice because you're going to need to be able to create doc files and then, of course, convert that into HTML format. So I personally would recommend Microsoft Word. OpenOffice is free and it is out there. You can use it. I personally use Microsoft Word, which is widely used already. And then you're going to need an HTML editor, especially if you want to edit the HTML and things like that. You can convert a Word document into HTML format, which is fine. But with an HTML editor, you have a little more leeway as far as the look of your end product. Because Amazon Kindle does allow images and things like that. Amazon likes HTML files. There's nothing fancy about the tools that you're going to need. In fact, you don't need to go out and pay any money. We're going to use a software called MobiPocket Creator, which basically allows you to convert your HTML files, I believe, and then protect them and things like that. Now let's talk about content guidelines. Essentially, what does Amazon allow you to do and what does Amazon not allow you to do? Now, most of this slide is going to be made up of things that Amazon does not allow. For example, they do not allow pornography. They do not allow offensive material, illegal items, stolen goods, recopied media. I think that's pretty much self-explanatory that, most sites don't allow illegal stuff or pornography or adult material. What about the public domain? What about public domain material that you can, use? Well, according to Amazon, they do allow that, but they may require you to provide proof, that you have copywritten some of that material.